Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing tips for Easter Sunday. So Sunday the 5th of April. So not the best of days yesterday. We had some decent priced each way, or a couple of decent priced each way ones, and then we had one absolutely dobbed on the line, the one in Ireland, going like the winner most of the way round. Maybe I think a horse fell with about 4 or 5 to jump. It left our horse in front. To be fair, I thought she gave it an okay ride, really. She was left in front. I think she did actually just restrain it slightly because she could have quite easily panicked and gone for home. Then probably wouldn't even come in the placings. But I just thought we're a bit unlucky, really, getting absolutely dobbed on the line. That was I think was it called Valerial or something like that? Varela. Anyway, let's get on to Sunday's selection. So I quite like the look of these. Obviously, I'm not going to pick horses I don't like the look of. So what I've had so far is I'm going to actually have another little bet. So what I've had is I've had two big priced selections each way and an each way double. So what I've added, two big prices, each way singles and each way double, and then two smaller, stronger fancies, each way singles and each way double. What I'm actually going to do now is I'm actually going to put them all in a very, very small stake, 10p each way, lucky 15, just in case we fall a bit lucky and they all come placed. So let me get into it. So the first selection, rather ironically, is Beelzebub at 6 to 1 in the 155 at Southwell. Also, I think it's Hebrew for Satan. Quite ironic that Beelzebub might or should or even should win or might win or runs on Easter Sunday, which is quite a religious day. So quite interesting. That's not why I've picked him, by the way. So yeah, Beelzebub in the 155 at Southwell, 6 to 1. Unlucky in its last run. It's ran pretty much well on all its visits to Southwell. It's extremely well handicapped. Trained by David Loughnane. I think this horse has got an excellent chance today, 6 to 1. To be fair, for the grade of the race, I think it's a class 6. It's actually quite a competitive race, but I think it'll be very difficult to kick it out the places. Obviously, we want it to win, but I think it's got a good chance for at least a place. The second selection is By the Grace. It's 7 to 2 in the 248 at Market Rasen. I think this horse will probably end up being favourite and probably a shorter price. So it's trained by Nicky Henderson. Jockey is, I believe, Mr. Daniel Williams, claiming 7. I'm never keen on backing horses that have won last time each way in the next race. But this race is that bad. I think it will be suited by the long Market Rasen straight. Originally, I was going to go for the horse that I was expecting to lead in the race, but I just don't think it's quite good enough. I can't remember what it's called now, the other horse. It's something like, it begins with a D and then another D. I think it's trained by someone like Mark Wolford. It doesn't matter anyway, but that horse should lead, in my opinion. And what I've said in the past is, when there's been rain at Market Rasen, which I live in Nottinghamshire, it's not a million miles away. I expect there's probably been a few odd showers at Market Rasen. I've checked the weather, and according to that, there has been odd showers. They can get very well stretched out, and it can suit front runners. So that was why I was concerned about the other horse. The other horse, the colours are Ursa Major. It's the in fact, let me just click on it. What the... Right. I don't really want to leave you... Right, 248 Market Rasen. Oh, it's actually this race. Didelicanter. Well, it's 9 to 2. As you can see, By the Grace already is 3 to 1. I think it will be favourite. I find it very interesting the fact that the favourite in this race has fell and pulled up in its last 2 races. Clearly there's some kind of gamble there or expected improvement from the Mickey Hammond stable. So yeah, so By the Grace, it stays all day. I think it'll want in time at least this trip. It probably will be a chaser eventually, but this is a hurdle race. I do believe that the long straight at Market Rasen and the fact that By the Grace races prominently, it's normally in touch, so it won't be too far away. I think it's probably its long galloping style will suit this course, especially in the long home straight, like I've said about twice already. And I just think it might just grind out a win. Nicky Henderson I'm not sure what his strike rate is now, but it used to be pretty decent. So let's go on to the next bet. So these are bigger prices, probably less likely to come placed, according to the bookmaker. So what I've gone for is, I've gone for each way singles and each way double. I was going to look for the stake. I think it's £1 each way on each and 50p each way double. The first selection is Frankie's Freebie, and I've gone to Fairyhouse. It's in the 205 at Fairyhouse at 20 to 1. This has been tackling some quite decent company for the grade. Never run in a handicap before. This is the first time. I think there's a little bit of room for improvement. It is one of the definite stayers, and you'll see it more than likely leading. So the easier lead it gets, the better its chance. You've got Adam Sexton taking, I think it's Adam Sexton taking £7 off. He's been taking £7 off in all the races, so it's not really going to make too much difference. But hopefully it goes straight to the front, and it's been running at least this distance or further. Its most disappointing run last time was when it was 15 to 8 favourite, and I don't think it stayed that day, or I think it was heavy ground over 3 mile. This is a drop back in trip. I think this is about 2 mile 4 or 2 mile 5. I think it's right up its street. The fact that it races prominently, they're paying 5 places, and it's a very tricky race. So there's a lot of runners, and I think they could quite easily get in the way of each other, and I'd much sooner be out in front, hopefully uncontested lead, with a decent chance. The next selection is a bit of a, I should tell you what it is first. It's Code Grey at 50 to 1 in the 306 at Southwell. Paying 3 places for this. This horse isn't a million miles behind on the ratings. The first 2 in the betting are rated Racing Post Race 67. This horse is rated Racing Post rating 49. I don't expect a lot of Tim Easterby's horses are normally fine-tuned on their first run. I looked at the breeding, and it will appreciate the step up in trip. I find it interesting the fact that if they were looking for a handicap mark, they will probably keep it at the same. You know, when the horse wants further and you're after a handicap mark, it's only ran once, but you would normally expect them to see it run over the same trip. So let's say this was my horse. I think it ran at 6 furlongs. I think it was Newcastle. If I was going to get it an handicap mark, I would probably then take it to Southwell and run it over 5 furlongs. Yeah, and then step it up to 6 and run it at Chelmsford held up. There you've got a handicap mark where you haven't seen the horse put in the best race or over the correct distance, and therefore you would then have a decent handicap mark normally. But I like the fact that it's 6 furlongs at Newcastle, and then they've stepped up to 7 furlongs at Southwell. It's more than likely not going to come in the placings, but I just think it's too interesting of a horse. The fact that it should improve for its debut because it's trained by Tim Easterby. They're not normally, like I said, fine-tuned on the debut. There's a few unknown sorts, but the first 2 look. In fact, the first 3 look relatively strong, but I think they do look, as in like, it wouldn't surprise me if something else kicked them out the placings. There are several horses that haven't ran before. There are several. There's the odd one that's ran and not done a great deal. There is a horse called Receipt, which I think has got a decent chance, but it's vulnerable off a big weight. I think it's got 10 stone because it's a year older than the rest of them. So I just think Code Grey at Southwell, when they turn it out home straight, its previous run will have done it some good. Should strip fitter, will appreciate the step up in trip. I just hope it's given a chance. And I think Sean Kiran or Sean Kiran? I can never say his name. Decent jockey, and hopefully gives it a decent ride. So what I'm going to do now is I'm also going to put them in a 10 pence each way, lucky 15, just in case we fall a bit lucky and they all come placed. So those are the bets for today. I wish you the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.